it means that, hello, we are in the Now group in Facebook, in Now Network of Women. And if you're in the group, maybe you just know it as the word Now. And you know something, that didn't come up as being in the Now, being present, because if anyone knows me, that is how I work. I like everybody to be in the now, and that's what we're here today in this It's All About You Facebook Live broadcast. And today we have Lanna with us. So I'm going to do my usual little wave to Lanna so that you don't feel as if you're sitting there and we're all ignoring you, because we totally aren't. It's going to be you I'm going to be on the spot in a moment. And so what are these broadcasts about? Well, first of all, if anybody doesn't know me, my name's Lindsay, and I am the founder and organizer for this wonderful, wonderful group. And these are 100 days of Facebook Live broadcasts, and I'm on almost 70 now, of being in this group every single day for 15 minutes with a different Now member. And it's a fabulous way for you as Now members, for you yourself to be able to showcase yourself and your business and get confident being on a Facebook Live. So I could go on forever talking, so I think we'll just go over to Lanna now. So Lanna, who are you and what do you do?
Thank you for the introduction. So I'm Lanna. My business is Love Happens to Me. I'm a mindset coach with a spiritual twist. So I started my journey way back when I had really bad crippling anxiety, and I started to look at holistic alternatives. I tried the traditional routes and they just didn't really cut it. So I got into the more spiritual realm of things with crystals and Reiki. So I trained as a crystal healer, I trained as a Reiki practitioner. And then I started to find that I was going down the coaching aspect. So I trained in counselling, and I have a background in social anthropology. So I'm always about humans, human nature, and really what it is to be a human being in our society and how that has an impact on us, and recognizing the importance of really thinking about your mind and how your mind dictates everything that happens in your day-to-day. So now I work as a mindset coach with a spiritual twist.
Excellent. And you're so true. I mean, our mind does guide us because it is guiding us, isn't it? I mean, it hasn't come, it's not doing everything that it makes us do because it kind of fancies that, oh, let's lie in bed today. There is a reason for it, is there not?
There is, and it's really important to think about what you're putting into your mind. You know, there's a lot of talk, there's more talk now about mindset and mental awareness and seeing that as an important aspect of your well-being, but actually there's more focus on, you know, keeping fit, eating well and those kind of things. But it's the simple little things, from the thoughts that run around and around your mind every day, that whether you know they're there or not, and usually the ones that you don't know are there, are the ones that have the biggest impact. So they are the things that end up making you wanting to lay in bed all day because of anxiety, fears, insecurities, experiences that have happened and have had their impact and you've never really dealt with it. So the mind has such a big part to play in everything that it is really key to look after it.
Yes, and looking after it in the aspect of being aware of what we do, what we think. Yeah? Yeah,
that's the starting point. You know, awareness is the starting where you can go, okay, these are my sort of common thoughts. Or, you know, if you get asked to do something that you wouldn't normally do, like come and speak to you now, some people would be like, no, I'm not doing it. I can't do it. I'm going to fluff my lines and that kind of thing. And it's all of those thoughts that are your instinctual go-to thoughts that really create the foundation of your belief about yourself in your life. And then that's going to have an impact on everything.
I love that, what you said, because yes, I do get that. You know, when I ask anyone, would you like to come and sit beside me here? And it's more or less the same answers, and it's fear. As you say, it's fear that you fluff up. So, but you're here today. How did you get over this barrier?
I mean, when I first started doing lives, I do lives in my Facebook group. And I do them every day now. And when I first started, it was like, oh, I don't really want to go live. I don't really want to speak. I was the kid at school that used to try and bunk off on the days when you had to give a presentation. You know, it's gone from that to this. But really, I got used to it. I just threw myself into it. And I set myself a couple of years ago the challenge of doing 30 days of lives in my group, just to get me over that barrier. So now it's another thing that I feel comfortable doing. And then this was an opportunity to just push myself a little bit more, because now it's in your group from your guidance, you know, rather than just me speaking, which I'm used to now.
Brilliant, yes. And you're right. I'm carrying out a Facebook Live, which I do several, I run them, several of them, and with great results. But it's not just being in a closed group, is it, with other people seeing you? It is changing your mindset. Literally, it changes the brain, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a new habit. It's, you know, there's all these theories about how long it takes to create a habit. But if you go on the typical 21 days, and after 21 days, you will have created a new way of thinking in your mind, so that you then change the beliefs around it. So, you know, if you gave yourself a 21-day challenge of doing Facebook Lives, then on day one, it's going to be like, oh no, I'm really scared. I don't know how it's going to go. By day 5, probably, you're getting used to the whole system and what it feels like. And everything's associated with feelings, right? So the fear comes from, you know, what if I go cold and I don't know what to say, and how that would feel. So once we start to experience the thing that we're scared of, and the feelings change, the fear around it tends to go.
And in your mindset coaching, do you use your Reiki with mindset coaching and your crystal knowledge?
Yeah, so I incorporate it all. So I tend to do courses, so people can come on a course and experience coaching from a training perspective, and then sometimes offer one-to-ones, but it's more courses and it's more groups focused around specific things. Like I have a Wild Woman boot camp, and that's really about tapping into your inner power as a woman and standing tall. And part of that is acknowledging the fears, the limiting beliefs, the experiences in the past that you've had that really stopped you being able to move forward in certain areas, dealing with them, and then learning how to overcome them going forward. So I always bring in a spiritual aspect. There'll be crystals, there'll be some Reiki, talk of energy, talk of things like the full moon, things like that, because they're all part of our experience. And the more we use them, the more benefit we get, really.
Absolutely. You know, you mentioned the moon there, and I often go to the sea, and it would be hard for us to believe that the moon does not have an effect on us when you look at how it affects the water.
And that's what I would say. If the moon can change the tide, come on, we're going to be affected. And the more we become aware of the impact, the more we're like, oh, okay, that's why I feel that way at that particular time of the month. And, you know, it's a known fact. I've got friends that work in the call centres for 999. They get more mental health calls on a full moon. That just happens every single month.
Oh,
yeah. So it is important to be aware of the impacts around us from an environmental perspective. And I suppose that's my social anthropology brain. You know, how does society impact us? What sort of relationship is it between us and what's around us? And how does that make us feel?
Yeah, and when you say around us, it's not just people, but it's objects and your thoughts as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's all like layer upon layer, isn't it? So you've got your thoughts, yourself, then your environment, you know. So one of the training courses I have is about crystals, and a big part of that is being aware of the energy in your space, because you go into your home, your workspace every day, and you may or may not realize what energy is around you. And if you're aware of, you know, thinking positively and looking after your body, but you're going into a space where you haven't cleansed that area, that has an impact. So it's all different levels.
Yeah. Yes. And, you know, that sort of straight away brought me to, you know, to clutter and stuff, which I constantly live in, which, yes, I am going to do something about that. So if someone, you know, you were a 999 caller, you know, operator, and you were able to say to that person who's called you, you were able to say to them what you wanted, what would you say to help them at that moment?
I think the first thing which people forget is to breathe. It is those any meditation, any training, usually with me starts with, okay, 3 deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. It really is about getting some grounding in you, because of the anxiety that I had, and it was so bad at times that I was overthink things, and the over-analysing, overly critical, all of that. And for a 999 caller, it's very much about the anxiety, the fear, the probably stuck in their head aspect. So it is about breathing, getting your feet on the ground, like literally, bare feet on soil, on sand, something from Mother Nature, just to give you that. And you will naturally, instantly feel calmer, even if you think that sounds like rubbish. It will work.
It does, yes. You don't need to believe it. It works. Because what we do every single day, no matter what it is, we might not believe half of what we do, but it's doing something on some level.
Exactly.
That's fascinating. Thank you so much, Lanna, for a different insight into our mind, our brain, our self altogether. So I know that if anybody has got any questions, whether it is about the moon and does it affect me, or whether it is about what's this about standing bare feet, what does that mean? I know you'll be there to help, and your links are there, and they can message you, and you would get back at a point in time that suits you. I know that. And
of course.
Your group, I know you've got 2 groups. You've got one that is free to join, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Excellent. And every day you're in there with a Facebook Live helping others. So that's something really important, which is fabulous to go over to. So thank you so much for all of that. So I ask everyone a question at the end. It's a different question altogether. So the question I was asking you was, who is the funniest person that you know?
I'd have to say my other half, and that's part of the reason why we have a nice relationship, because at any moment he could just give me a random look and I'll know something he's referring to that is just really silly humour, really bad jokes, but they're just really funny when he says them.
I know sometimes the bad jokes are ones that you just go, oh my God. Laughing. Oh, fantastic. And I'm a laughter yoga leader, and I know the benefits from laughter. There's so many, isn't there?
There is, and if you can just get a little bit in every day, it's just loosen up your face muscles, your body will loosen, you get that sort of that positive aspect of life back in, just even if it's stupid humour, it's something. Yeah,
that's right. It doesn't need to be. I mean, I sort of ran workshops and I was a part of, and we laughed over nothing. I mean, literally nothing. And I can come out laughing, like over nothing. And some people just look at you and go, God, she's absolutely, too daddy. But the thing is, somebody watching you laugh or smile, they can't help but do it as well.
It's like a yawn, isn't it? Someone yawns, you'll yawn. Someone laughs, you can't help but laugh or smile.
You can't help but laugh. That's right. And when you see, and you do feel better from laughter. And you'll know this is because the chemicals in our body are released. Serotonin, it's released, and it just, all the endorphins, and it just, you feel, absolutely wonderful. I love a good 5-minute or preferably 20-minute laughter, because then that really sets you up for the day. So I'm going to say thank you so much, Lanna, for coming on here today and actually meeting you. And it's wonderful, isn't it? Because these broadcasts allow us to actually to meet you.
Yeah, and thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. When I come to the end of my 100 days, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I think
start again.
Oh, well, I've got some ideas, but I don't want to infiltrate the group every single day again with me. I'm sure they're a bit fed up of seeing me. But thank you very much again, Lanna, for being here and telling us a bit about your business and about yourself. So everyone, and now that is the end of this particular broadcast. I will be back tomorrow, and there are a few days left in April, and this finishes on May the 9th. So there's about 4 days left in May that you can come and sit here with me and tell the whole group, tell the whole world, because these actually go onto YouTube if you want. And I've got lots of plans on YouTube, so you will be out there into the world. So I'm going to love you and leave you, and yeah, catch you tomorrow. So I'm saying bye-bye from now, from me, and bye-bye from Lanna. See you tomorrow.